Good morning, friends. I am using a TTS instead of subtitles. This way you can set subtitles on YouTube and automatically translate them into your language. Let's see how to use Hero Wars Simulator. Next, we'll talk about the Cornelius Team and how to use it against Maestro. We can go to the Battle Simulation section, choose Guild Raid, and then, as you can see in the video, we will need to configure heroes and buffs. Or we can take an old log and choose to simulate the battle. This way, the simulator will already be configured with heroes and buffs. Now pay attention to the heroes and pets I'm choosing. They are suitable for my situation. My Cornelius team is still developing. My pets are not all at their best, so the choices do not necessarily have to be those we see in the video. Now let's talk about the heroes. Cornelius and Sebastian are indispensable. During the battle, I will try to explain why. Then we need heroes who have armor penetration as their first artifact. The team I'm using is good for one attempt with 4 armor penetration buffs. It's a team that will die easily, but survives enough for one attempt, plus, the first part of the battle is very stable. This allows you to have fixed times that you can memorize, so you don't have to adapt every time. Now that the team is set up, let's start the simulation. Now let's talk about team selection. The Ninja Turtles, in addition to having the armor penetration buff, create an additional line during combat. This is a great advantage, because the horn stuns only the first 3 most advanced lines. Ching Mao dies too easily. It is better to replace her with Tristan, but at the moment my Tristan is too weak. Isaac has armor penetration, and is the hero who will be able to add more armor penetration buffs. Sebastian and Cornelius are essential. Now let's see why. In order for Cornelius to deal a huge amount of damage with his meteorite, we need to add the critical hit stat plus the necessary armor penetration. This is possible thanks to another hero that adds the critical hit buff, since Cornelius does not have the critical hit in his stats. Sebastian not only adds the critical hit for Cornelius too, but he also has an ability that greatly increases the critical hit chance for all allies who have the critical hit in their stats. That's not all. Sebastian has another ability that adds pure damage to all allies who successfully perform a critical hit. If everything works, the physical damage will be very high. The associated pure damage will be very high, and Albus will be able to charge a very powerful blow from all that pure damage landed. Now let's see everything in detail during the battle. Each team's buff setup has its own different timing, so take this battle as an example and practice with your team. I'll switch to the astral world as soon as possible. You can hold down the W key in advance and then release it when you've entered the astral world. When I get to 1 minute and 36 seconds on the countdown, almost 35, I activate Sebastian's first ability. Now we have the critical strike buff for 9 seconds. This also allows Cornelius to have the critical strike stat and to be able to receive Sebastian's next abilities. At the same time, I also activate Isaac's first ability to have the first armor penetration buff. Immediately after, I activate the Ninja Turtles ultimate for the second armor penetration buff. Once again, Isaac, third armor penetration buff. Sebastian performs his battle song. Now it will also be applied to Cornelius. Because the critical hit buff is still present, the critical hit chance is much higher now. You can be sure that the battle song has been applied to Cornelius because you will see the notes spinning around him. Now I activate Cornelius and Albus at the same time. Better watch the buff countdown to know the exact moment. It must be between 3.2 and 2.8. If done before Isaac doesn't have time to cast the ultimate. If done after, the buffs will have disappeared when the meteor hits. I activate Isaac's ultimate. Now we have 4 armor penetration buffs. The last thing to do is to return to the material world before the meteorite hits, otherwise the shot would have no effect. It is important to hit as soon as you enter the material world, when Maestro's barrier is still at its minimum. The critical hit went in. I was lucky. We can see the raw damage associated with Cornelius's hit, thanks to the ability Sebastian gave him. Now, since Albus is looking for his hit, he will absorb all that raw damage and in turn deliver another devastating hit. My Cornelius is still growing. The damage can be greater than this. All this was done in simulation. Next Master Reset I will try. We will see if the simulator is faithful to the real battle. Thanks for watching my video. Greetings to all. See you in the next video.